Alright, so we're going to be adding DI to this platform fighter, which it currently doesn't have, but just implemented knockback lines, so hopefully we can modify them based on the control stick input and draw some new ones. Currently this is just the base knockback angle. You're gonna have to do a bunch of angle math and that's gonna suck. Alright, so you take the regular knockback angle and then you take the control stick angle, and if they're perpendicular then you get the most amount of DI, so that would be a 90-degree difference. What's the math on this? And then also if the angle is like overshooting it, then you get less DI, so like perpendicular is exactly like the most possible DI. Not exactly sure how I want to handle it, but we can start by getting the difference between the two angles.
The new angle ends up being 65, that's 45 times 220. Which means you can take the difference and have that as s. It only works in positive angle space. You just about like impacts in 135, like 150 something. And the DI, 100 minus 90, 70, 60, 60.
Alright, so this should be, yep, it's identical. Alright, now I'm going to try DIing. It's really hard, I have to use two controllers at the same time. Alright, fast following this nair. I'm going to hold straight up. Ooh, our DI line went straight up. Is that actually correct? Oh, it needs to be the difference divided by 2. Up. We got hit. That's our base angle, our modified angle. Alright, that worked perfectly. Let's try it with perfect DI at angle 135. Nice. That worked really well. That's kind of exactly what I wanted. I suspect that it's not going to work if I DI down. It's going to do really weird stuff. I also suspect... Let me try over DIing and see what happens. Because this should work. Yeah, we get like, you can DI way too much. And if I DI down, it's going to be even crazier. Alright, that looks correct. So basically we need to make sure that the angle difference... So angle difference will always return a value between negative 180 and 180. So I can subtract any amount angle difference goes over 90. Oh yeah, that would work. Okay. Say absolute value difference minus 90 if overshoot is greater than 0. Difference minus equals overshoot. I don't know if this is work with a positive or negative value. I'm gonna make that. So if there's any amount overshot, then we take the difference. So if it's like 120, we subtract overshoot times 2, and this thing needs to be multiplied by the sign of diff. Plus or minus, who knows? Let's test that. Alright, DIing this way. That worked perfectly. That was some weird DI. Please short hop. Alright, DI exactly against the angle. It should result in a very similar angle. Oh my god, it works! DI is functional. Now we gotta test it with other direction because I never tested that. Let's try this. Dude, it works! Like perfectly. Alright, now the amount of DI that's happening right now is maximum 45 degrees in either direction. And that can be changed. I don't know if that's too much DI. I should actually look up like how much Smash has. I kind of feel like 45 is too much DI though, so. Directional influence. Okay, the highest deviation of trajectory is produced by directions perpendicular to the original knockback angle, which is how I programmed it. And it amounts to approximately 18 degrees. Interesting. So you can only DI up to 18 degrees. Alright, well let's significantly reduce our DI here and see alright, what is 90? What is 18 of 90? 11? Alright, let's see how this looks. This is melee level DI. This looks really good. They're holding in and I down to them, they go straight up. Alright, that's how that should work. You need to DI that move away. If you DI away, then I can't get a follow-up. But If you DI in, free nair. Like that. Combo. Cool. This melee level DI seems pretty good. Smash directional influence. Alright, let's see how this works. SDI changes a character's position before launch. The mechanics of SDI operate by shifting the character in a given direction. Every frame, a new direction vector of sufficient size is input. As a result, repeatedly tapping in one direction will move the character much further than simply holding the stick in that direction. Quarter circle DI, which involves quickly rotating the stick between two orthogonal positions for increased distance. Interesting. I actually didn't know about that. Whenever a character is hit on the ground by an attack that does not lift them off of it, such as a weak meteor smash or move that launches at the Sakura angle, they can only SDI horizontally, not vertically. This prevents them from SDIing upwards and going airborne before they launch the attack, thus ensuring they remain on the ground. Automatic smash directional ASDI is a weaker variant of SDI. When the character freeze frames are over, they shift slightly in whatever direction the control stick is currently held, by a shorter distance in the SDI input. If the C stick is also being held in that direction, it will override the control stick input, allowing the player to DI in another direction simultaneously. ASDI is significantly less useful than regular SDI and is generally ignored, as any stick position during this time is likely to be attempted at an irregular DI. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, however, it is important to factor in crouch canceling, as the downward shift from holding the control stick down allows characters to land on the ground earlier, in addition to taking reduced knockback from the crouch cancel and thus retaliate against attacks more quickly than usual. I feel like ASDI is really good in PM. I mean, it's not listed here obviously because PM's banned. I like SDI so you can like tech walls and stuff if you're getting spiked. That's the coolest part about SDI. Obviously getting out of multi-hits is really useful. What does Ultimate have? Let's see. A new mechanic in Ultimate which increases the strength of SDI over time against consecutive grounded hits. SDI has gained a visual indicator when performed, allowing their opponents to see which direction. What? Where? Can I see this? I've never seen this. Alright, how do I want to implement SDI? It seems weird. So I'm not applying speed, I'm just like moving them. What happens if you SDI into a wall? Do you just not go? Alright, I guess I'm going to create a new region here. We're going to call it SDI. Which I really want to call this hit stun shuffling, or hit lag shuffling. Which is what I'm going to call it. So I'm just like not going to put any collision checking in here for a second for two reasons. One, it's not necessary to test it, and two, it allows me to test it by SDIing downwards and then I'll get stuck in the ground. Hopefully. Oh! We moving? Oh, I'm so stupid. Wait, this is really interesting. I forgot to put the... Alright. So let's just test this. Everything should be the same now, because you have to be in hit lag and you have to be in knockback. Which means I can actually put the game permanently in hit lag by pressing this button. So now that we're in knockback, we should be able to... Whoa! Oh, this is funny. Alright, so I'm gonna have to write a new freeze frame that actually pauses the game instead of just putting it in hit lag, which is kind of like a janky hack that I used. SDI is such a small thing, it's so hard to even like tell if it's happening. Alright, well I'm gonna make them move like a billion pixels and just so it's really noticeable. And I'm gonna jab this character. Did I forget something? Oh, their state doesn't equal knockback yet because they're in hit lag. Alright. Oh yeah, that works. Oh! Oh, up just triggers consistently. I figured it out. The last input is updated after or before the hit lag shuffling. I mean, like, I kind of hate this, but if I move it here, it would fix the bug. Alright, now we should be able to DI stuff.
Yeah, cool. I just SDI'd directly into the ground, which I intentionally allowed you to do for testing purposes. Alright, I need to be hit so I can SDI out of the ground. Please. Hey, there we go. I SDI'd out. Alright, let's see if I can just like SDI jab behind them. Yeah, that worked. See? We got 2 different launch angles. I only got 1 SDI input though. Oh! Alright, now I'm there's no getting out of that. So quarter circle DI is definitely going to be a thing in this game. Let's massively reduce our SDI amount, and then we need to add collision checking, which I'm going to do in the most easy to understand way possible. Alright, this is going to be a lot less noticeable. And there's collision checking, so I shouldn't be able to SDI into the ground. Cool. Wow, that was a big one. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to try SDIing down while my character is airborne, just to make that sure that that still works, even though it won't put me in the ground. This is going to be really difficult to test. Also, I can't do my freeze frame thing because then I can just SDI everywhere. Assuming I get hit. Which is kind of funny. Watch this. If I get hit, now I can just SDI wherever I want. Because the game's permanently in hit lag. Oh, wait, this is a fantastic way to test this. Yeah, quarter circle DI is the way to do it. So I could implement actual collision checking where I don't just like not move you, or moves you as close as possible. Alright, I gotta send them off and then combo them as soon as they respawn. Oh! The reverse hit. I might make dash attack come out a little earlier. Frame data on it. Like, you start moving way before you attack. That's dash attack. Comes out there. Which, like, to me seems fair, but a lot of the time it feels like you're going through the opponent. Maybe I should just make the hitbox cover more of their body. Although you're gonna get reverse hits a lot in that case. You can actually reverse hit back air, but it's like really hard. If I had a GameCube controller, I could do it. There we go. But yeah, so it's probably a little bit too early to add SDI because it like literally does nothing right now. I mean, technically it'll save you if you SDI in. You're gonna die. Alright, what's next on the list? Ledges? Oh god.